Salutations Internet, Margaret here. Today we're going to hop into Grey Goo, which is a new RTS for PC created by Petroglyph. I'm going to be checking out the multiplayer game mode. Looks like it's going to be a Goo versus Goo session. And you can tell this by the little icons next to each of our names. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my Mother Goo over to the resource node, and then I'm going to move my Drover, which is my scout. I'm going to go scout around with him and turn on that resource toggle as well. Looks like my opponent is going to be a little bit friendly with it, so I'll return it with a good luck, have fun. And as you can see, the hotkeys are pretty simple. It's QWERT right there. I love it. Makes it nice. I have no reason to rebind the keys. I've been enjoying it just like that. I don't know of any of the RTSs that actually do that type of thing where it keeps breaking down. Looks like we have scouted a little drover of the enemy. Should be no problem. Ooh, it's getting a little close. As you can see, I don't really have to click to micromanage. I just move around the map. Lost that battle, it's okay. Just move around the map and my little guy will shoot whatever abilities he has. So as you upgrade your creatures, they'll just do whatever their abilities are. You don't have to micromanage them. Which some people will say that, you know, that takes away from the TDM or the skills. And, you know, I can understand that complaint. It's fair, it's fair. Ooh, it looks like he's found my Mother Goo, which could be really bad for me if they have some more creatures in the making. I'm going to take these drovers that I just spawned and chase him. See how far we can get by taking him out. But as you can see, like, it's kind of slow paced. It's more like a Command and Conquer 3 if you've ever played Command and Conquer. Unlike if you're a StarCraft fan and you want that fast-paced gameplay, it's not going to be like that. This is much more slower paced. But it's still fun. I'm going to move this guy back a little bit. Do be careful when you're micromanaging. The mobs will, or the units will, like, bump each other, so you do have to be careful about that. It's a little bit harder to micromanage them in that sense. But move him back so that he's not in the forward front, since he took a little bit of damage. And it looks like he's regenerating some HP, so we'll be okay. Gonna keep chasing him. We haven't seen any enemies yet. But he might just be kiting me into a different direction and not necessarily into his base, which is fine. Which is fine, you know. Some tactics in that, I can see that. I will have to say that I love the art of the game. It looks gorgeous. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, so those are Striders. He's got 2 of them already, which is good for me. Good to note for me. So Striders are going to give, they're like an armored attack creature, which is great if you have some tanks and you have to battle them, but I don't really have any armored creatures. So far I've only built drovers, and I think I'm going to continue doing that. I'm going to split these guys up so they can all go scout, help me keep the map covered so that I know what's happening, or if the enemy comes my way, I'll know what's going on and I won't get flanked. Hopefully, that's the goal. Move my Mother Goo over to the next resource node. I'm going to group them. As you can see, there's 1-2 groupings down at the bottom that are highlighted. You can group your creatures, and it makes it super easy. I'm going to move these guys into these bushes as well. Bushes. Now, if you are a Dota or League of Legends fan, you're going to understand the concept of this quite easily. It's the same concept. You can hide your creatures in it. Enemies can't see it unless they have a creature or a unit or something of the sort that can see through the bushes. Got a little bit of skirmish here. Let's see if we can actually win this one. Our last Drover v Drover did not go as well, so hopefully we can defeat him. But speaking about the bushes, it will be really nice for you to kind of have creatures that are there, pop out, attack them. It depends though. They can build like radiance or something like that that will see through them, that have that sensory vision. So you do have to be careful. Looks like, what's gonna happen? Okay, I guess we both beat each other up. 1v1. It's okay. We have more where that came from. We'll probably get another Mother Goo up that way. As I'm scouting, I'm just checking out to make sure that these guys, I'm gonna move him over here so I can get another Mother Goo spawned and over that way. And again, I love the QWERT hotkey system. I think it's super straightforward, and you just keep building down. Now the difference between Goo versus some of the other factions is that instead of building your base and then building off your base and continuing to build like this giant base, you are just upgrading your Mother Goo. So you keep giving your Mother Goo upgrades, you keep giving your little creatures upgrades, or your units, I should say, upgrades, and that's kind of the process. It's pretty straightforward. Ooh, they have more Striders. See, I knew they were going to build some more Striders. So that's actually good for me because I know that they're going to be doing that. I'm going to continue to build just the drovers, and possibly, well, maybe think about doing a dweller, because dwellers are going to give me some good AoE, and that will allow me to easily explode his little units. Move my Mother Goo up here, take over this area, and slowly make some more drovers. Got a couple more over here. Gonna start bringing my army up to the forward front, especially since I know that they're kind of roaming about with his striders. Ooh, a couple more striders here. So they're gonna chase me, but I'll kite him. Come on. That'll be a tasty little drover bait. Yes, yes. And this is the thing, the tactics of getting people to bait when you know that you have an army, or you know what their vision is. So he does. I don't know how much he's seen as mine. It looks like he has quite a few radiants, which were the creatures that I was talking about earlier that can see through bushes and stuff, which they're more useful for scouting. I'm going to use my Mother Goo here as well to kind of try to battle this army that he has. He has a large protein as well that you can see back there in the back. So I just need to really kite them around and kite my Mother Goo and take out these striders and whatnots as I move my units back and forth. The kiting is going to be the most important, so just managing your units and trying to make sure that you can kite them around and get them to shoot stuff without getting in range of their creatures that are going to be able to shoot you from distances. I'm going to try to move my Mother Goo back here, maybe get her back on the resource node if I can. I don't really want her battling it out. You can do that. You can use her like you saw me using her in that battle. Sometimes you want to, but you have to be really careful. As you saw, I was trying to really make sure that she didn't get too close to them. Now they have a group of large proteins here. I'm just going to flank them, take them out with my drovers. Shouldn't be a problem. They have more striders. Again, he's just building tons of striders. I'm not really certain what his tactic is here. He's got another large protein that is spawning. We'll see what we can do. I think that I'm going to be able to take him out though, because I have quite a few more drovers that are on their way. So we'll take out the striders. I think it's gonna be, we're going to be able to take out his Mother Goo. Maybe do. I don't know if we'll have enough damage. Oh no, got a little close. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to kiting. It's basically you're just clicking around kiting, making sure that you don't get hit by the goo and get consumed by it. It's the big difference between this faction and others. There's going to be other factions are going to be a little bit more difficult in the sense of that they're going to be able to build defenses and turrets and walls and whatnot, where the Mother Goo isn't going to have all of that necessarily, but the goo, if it touches stuff, it just consumes it. So that's the big thing and a big advantage that goo have versus some of the other factions. Now let's see. We do have some of our dwellers out. Like I said, my tactic is going to be to AoE them. Dwellers are great. You can hide them wherever they're placed and they're invisible to the enemy, which is fantastic. But the problem is that if you don't explode them properly, you're not going to do as much damage. Now, if the initial burst doesn't hit them, that's okay, because you can also, it'll still spawn some small proteins, which will then hopefully kill all the rest of them. That's the concept and hopefully the goal. Initially, you just want to explode them with that first explosion, but sometimes it doesn't happen that well. Let's move my army up here. I think I'm going to be able to push them, especially since now I have my dwellers. He's got this little army that's coming my way. You know, I did some okay damage. Here are my protein that are spawning out, as you can see. I didn't have any creatures to kind of back them up, so my drovers are now just getting into the battle, which is fine, I think I have enough. We're gonna regroup them. He doesn't know that I have a dweller on the ground down there, so it's gonna be easy for me to flank him. I want him to come this way. I want him to commit a little bit further so that I can then push him with my drovers in the front. I'm gonna bring some of my other guys in here, and I'm gonna take and hopefully the dweller that's sitting right there is gonna come up behind them, or actually just run into them and just explode them. That's my goal. Oh, I was not expecting that. I thought he just had those 4 striders and that radiant, but he does have some drovers. I'm just gonna try to get my dweller right in the middle of them. Oh, please stay right there, please. Oh, yes. Oh, so good, so good. All right, let's move the rest of my forces. As you can see, I guess he's gonna GG, so yeah, GG, we won! Yeah! Awesome, fantastic. Yeah, so I'm having a really, good fun with this game. I like it. I think it's worth the money. You can check it out on Steam right now. It is out there. It's beautiful. The graphics are wonderful, so if you're wanting to play more of a single player and you're not into the multiplayer, the single player is fantastic. If you want to do AI skirmishes, the AI is actually pretty challenging, even on easy mode, but there are higher tier modes. I've played through quite a few of them, and they are difficult. The campaign, like I said, is just wonderful. I enjoy it quite a bit, and the other two factions are really fun. Let me know what you guys want to see for the next one. I do want to make another video. I'm thinking about maybe just having one of my coworkers or something play one of the factions, and I'll play the other so we can see a human versus beta game. Let me know if that's what you guys would want to see, or if you want to see more of the campaign. Hope that you guys have a wonderful day and enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do. Margaret signing off. Enjoy the game.